morning to all of you. I am Shatabdi Das, a teacher of Sarmangla Public School. I am here for the training session and my topic is nurturing mental health of students. So, before starting this session, I just request you, all of you, please everyone, keep your hands on your legs, sit straight and close your eyes just for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath. Okay, over. So, how are you feeling now? Feeling relaxed? Okay, so this we can do in the classroom also. Before starting any chapter, any period, we can tell the students that do this practice so that their mind will be calm and their concentration power will grow also. So here I am here for the training, and next we have the contents. Here I have my contents, and the first question is, what is mental health? So, anyone from you, can you tell me what is mental health? Anyone in any language you can say. Anyone? Okay, I am explaining. What is mental health? See, that we can understand that mental health is related to our mind. We know we have two types of health. One is physical health and another is mental health. So, mental health is related to our mind. Something which is related with our mind, that is mental health. So, here we have what is mental health. Mental health encompasses emotional, psychological and social well-being, influencing cognition, perception and behavior. According to WHO, that is World Health Organization, it is a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fulfilling, and can contribute to his or her community. That means we can understand that if your mental health is good, you can do your work properly. You can contribute to your community and you can do your work properly also. Next we have a small video.
What is mental health? It is how we think, feel, and behave. Everyone has mental health. It is just as important as physical health. It's how we feel about ourselves and others. It's how we relate to others. It's how we cope with life's ups and downs and all of our emotions. So, just to recap, mental health is how we think, feel, behave, how we feel about ourselves and others, how we relate to others, how we cope in ups and downs, and all of our emotions. Our mental health is super important.
Hello, Psych-Knowers.
So, in this video we have seen that what is mental health. Okay, you have understood what is mental health. Now, the next thing is that epidemiology on mental health. See, mental illness are more common than cancer, diabetes and heart disease. Nowadays we can see that people are suffering more than the early ages. Nowadays people are suffering more in mental health diseases. So now the rate is also increasing, like heartache, that cancer, etc. Evidence suggests that 970 million people worldwide have a mental disorder. By 2030, it is predicted to become the leading cause of disease worldwide. So, it means that we can say that now we are in 2024. So, within 6 years, the number of mental health disease it will increase. Means people will suffer more in mental health disease. Okay. After that, we have the demographics. What the demographics says about mental health? See, mental health conditions are 16% of the global burden of disease and injury in people aged 10 to 19 years. It means what? That mental health we can see more in the students. In students we can see mental health problem is more. As here the age is 10 to 19 years, that means students are getting more mental health problem. The average age of onset is between 11 and 14 years for depressive disorder. And depressive disorder, the age is 11 to 14 years. Only approximately 25% of children with behavioral problems refer to medical services. Means we are saying the children that the children, those who are in the, means we are sending 25% only. Then what about the rest? The 75% they remain untreated. Means 75% students, we are not doing anything with them. We are not even think of them how their mental problem we can solve and anything else. Okay? Next here, why is mental health important? See, it is a very important question. That why mental health is important? As I have told that we have two types of health, we know that physical health is very important. We are always telling the students that take care of your health, eat properly, take care of your health, do exercise and anything. And everything we are telling. But what about the mental health? Why it is so important nowadays? See, nowadays people are dealing more with the mental health. So, students who prioritize their mental health are better able to manage stress, anxiety and depression, which can lead to better academic performance. Means a student, if the student have a good mental health, he can do well in the examination. His career, his academic performance will be great. Next, an individual's emotional health can impact their physical health. Yes, that is also important. As I have told you that physical health and mental health both are interrelated. So, if anyone's mental health is not good, his physical health will affect, and if his physical health is not good, then mental health will also be. So, both are interconnected. Okay? Next, we have what is a good mental health. What is mental health? We have told. We know that mental health means, I have already told, but what is a good mental health? Good mental health is, a good mental health is more than just the absence of mental illness. Of course, good means where is no bad, that we know. We are telling the students now, opposite of good is bad, opposite of bad is good. So good means there is no bad, means there is no illness. That is good mental health. So, absence of mental illness. If there is no mental illness, that means it is a good mental health. It means you are in a state our mental health? As I have told you, and we should tell the students also that if we have a good mental health, we can do our work properly, we can do everything properly. Acha. Now, up to this I have told. Anybody is having any question regarding mental health or anything? No. Okay, good. Next we have understanding mental health. See, understanding mental health is also very important. Good mental health, we know what is mental health, that also we know. But what is understanding mental health? Sometimes in classroom, in school, we have seen that some students are not talking with anyone. He is very silent. So, what we are doing, we are telling the students that, are you okay? Your health is good, you are feeling good. It means what we are thinking that the student is not feeling good physically. So, definition of mental health I have already told. The common misconception about mental health. It is what that whenever we are seeing the children, what we are telling that we are thinking that the student's physical health is not good. We don't even try to understand that maybe the student's mental health also not good. Maybe he is suffering from any mental problem, maybe something happened in his house, but we are not bothered at all. What we are thinking that maybe he is having some physical problem. So that is one misconception. And what is another misconception? That sometimes we have seen that some students we are telling that he needs to go to the counselor. He needs some medical help. He needs to go to the counselor. So this is a very, very common misconception among all of us. We are thinking that if a person is going to a counselor or a psychiatrist, it means the person is having mental disorder. Means the person is mad. This is our common concept. But actually it is not. If a person is going to a counselor, if a person is going to a psychiatrist, it doesn't mean that that person always having a mental problem or he is mad. Maybe he needs the support, he needs to talk to others. So that's why he is going to the counselor for his counseling part. After one sitting, after talking with the counselor, he or she is feeling better mentally. So this misconception we should not keep with us. Next we have the prevalence of mental health issues among students. Nowadays we can see that as I have told, the average number of rating, if we are going to see the rating is increasing day by day. Nowadays students are very much suffering from this mental problem. So that also we have to see. Next, identifying signs of mental health issues. There are some signs by which we can understand the person is suffering from mental health issues. What kind of signs? Sometimes we have seen a student that he is very much anxious, he is very much tensed about his studies, about his exams, anything. So anxiety is one of the signs. Symptoms we can say depression. Some students are going to depression because the exams are coming. Stress, lack of sleep, lack of food. They are not taking food properly. They are not taking sleep properly. These are also the symptoms. So if we are seeing this kind of symptoms in any student, in any child, we can talk to them. We can say that yes, the child is having some mental problem. If he is having any mental problem, just talk to them. Next, the importance of early detection and intervention. See, why early detection is very important? Because if we can detect that a child is suffering from mental issue, if the child is suffering from any kind of mental problem, what we can do? We can talk to the child. If it is detected early, so we can solve this problem. There are many ways to solve this problem. We can talk with the student, we can talk with the parents also. Sometimes we are talking with the students and we leave that topic. But we should talk with the parents also, that what kind of behavior the student is doing at home also. The same kind of behavior, or it is just a phobia of coming to school. So that also we have to know, we should know. Okay. So, about the shines, I have a video. See the video.
Hello, Psych-Knowers. Did you know with the recent movement on mental health awareness over the past few years, people are gradually coming to understand more and more about matters of depression, anxiety, trauma, and other mental disorders? There's also less stigma surrounding the need for therapy and mental health care nowadays, thanks to the countless public figures who have bravely spoken up about their own struggles with mental illness. Do any of your favorite celebrities come to mind? Still, there remains a lot unknown about the true nature of depression, the world's most common mental illness, and even more, it's only those struggling with it that can truly understand. So, with that said, here are 10 things only depressed people will understand. Number 1. Difficulty with communicating your emotions. Within the depths of depression, there may reside complex emotions such as sadness, hopelessness, helplessness, anger, fear, shame, and guilt. For others still, depression might manifest as an unending sense of emotional numbness and desolation. Either way, putting your feelings into words and communicating them with others is a constant struggle when you're depressed, especially when loved ones are asking you how you feel or how you're doing because they suspect something is wrong. You don't want them to worry, but when you're in the clutches of depression, you just don't know what or even how to tell them. Number 2, the guilt of not having a good reason for being depressed. Why are you depressed? What do you even have to be depressed about in the first place? Sound familiar? Perhaps one of the most difficult things about having depression is the pain of being misunderstood or judged.
Okay, so as I have told you that the recognition of common symptoms means how we will recognize the symptoms. I have told that anxiety, depression, disorder, mental disorder, sometimes these are the symptoms, stress, lack of sleep, etc. Next we have the importance of early detection, because how early we will detect it, we can solve the problem also. Okay, next see, video you have seen? The video related to this you have seen already? Okay. Next we have challenges faced by the students. This is a very important thing. So, challenges faced by the students, we can say these are the actual causes of mental disorder. These are the things by which the students are getting the mental disorder problem. Like academic stress. The first point here is the academic stress. What about the academic stress? Academic means related to studies. Exams, a very important thing, and this is actually, we can say, this is the main cause of getting depressed. The students who are not learning throughout the year, at the time of examination, what they are doing, they are getting stressed. But they are feeling that I cannot do anything properly. My exam will not be well. I may fail in the exam. So by this fear, they are getting depressed. Next, grades. Only pass is not everything. They have to get good marks also, good grade also. So grades also giving them mental depression. Workload. Throughout the year they are doing their classwork, homeworks, assignments, so many things. So they are getting the workload, and sometimes some students, they cannot bear the workload. But they are thinking that the workload, that the pressure, the exam pressure, the study pressure, it is very heavy for them. So they cannot take it. So for that also they are getting the stress. Next is the social pressure. Social pressure means we are the social animal, we are human being, we are the social animal, we are living with everybody. Bullying. In school, in colleges, we have seen that bullying. When a new child is coming, he is getting bullied by the other child, other students. What they are doing, either they are telling them, they are calling them by any other name or making fun of him.